Welcome to the Jerry Anderson podcast, which today mourns the passing of the news of the world in verse. What about the news of the world gone?
So?
168 years.
So?
The paper that died of shame. I've got a poem here a man has written in a requiem. It's gone but not forgotten. The red top that was rotten. We would tut-tut over three in a bed, but we're guilty because we paid. We would hide it when the parson called. The headlines were quite blue. But back home in the rectory, the parson would read it too. See that youth who may be going to Maynooth? He would read it in seclusion. It left him feeling sinful and covered in confusion. A born-again man with Bible in hand sang loudly, "Rock of Ages." He clutched his Bible securely, red top between the pages. A stern old maid sipped lemonade with a strange glint in her eye. "Sex for sale?" The headline screamed. The old maid muttered, "Oh my!" Many people now I've heard said read their red top in their bed. Then to their spouse they softly turned. Is it any wonder the roast was burnt? Doctors, lawyers, even vets read the paper with no regrets. When the bin man called like a crafty fox, they would stuff the paper in a cornflakes box. I've done it too, and so have you, so don't look down your nose. Oh, how you'd leer from ear to ear at those women with no clothes. Now it's gone, yet we can't walk on. To make bread, you must have yeast. We paid our money gladly to feed the hungry beast. We built it up, now we knock it down. The red top got taught with its pants down. We thought the lewdness was such fun, never caring if it hurt anyone. Now the red top is no more. Hang a wreath upon the door, and many there are to blame. 3 million people love to read the Sunday paper that died of shame. Did you ever read it?
Did you ever buy it?
Oh, yes.
I never bought it.
Oh, when I was a teenager, I never missed it.
Did you?
Oh, looking at the naked women, of course.
I don't believe you.
There is a thespian lurking within the presenter. It doesn't take much to unleash this horribleness. He always wanted to be a 1950s Northern Ireland stage actor. Why? Nobody knows. Did you ever go to plays and they're all talking like that? Did you ever go to them? I used to go to them in St. Colum's Hall in Derry. And all the men would be on the stage. They'd be saying, "Oh, for God's sake, Bridget, sit down to that there and take a weight of your body. Sit down there and have a drop of tea and a bit of burn brack and tell us all about young Jim. I believe he's away enjoying the army. Oh, you'll never see him again. I'll tell you what, though. There's queer crack round about the crossroads these days. Them mice is running scattering everywhere. Do you know what I'm going to tell you? Old Jim could supervise mice at the crossroads. He's that smart. Where's that young son of yours now? Is he up at the hayrick? He's up in the hull looking for the cats."
What play was that?
I just made it up. The 1954 play by Joe Tomley, Is the Priest at Home? Is the Priest at Home? Has the following exchange. Father Mallon. "Ah, Father Mallon, God bless you, Father. It's fitting while you're looking. Take that collar off and I'll give it a bit of a shine. Sit down." "I'll give it a bit of a run over the damp cloth. Sit down there and put your crucifix to the left-hand side and get yourself a bap there. Put something in it, a bit of cheese maybe, perhaps a herring. Herons! Herons!" Father Mallon is finding out about the makeup of his new posting.
Right.
Davy McAlea, the post. "Hello, Davy. There you be your sack again, bringing your post bag up to us. Tell us now, is there any letters from Belfast?" Davy McAlea, the postman, is a Catholic, but has not gone to Mass since the last mission in which the missioners warned the parishioners. "Parishioners, stop taking the news of the world." Another scabrous story about Daniel O'Donnell, which may or may not be true. Daniel asks the presenter to introduce him before his first ever concert in San Francisco, otherwise known as Frisco. He said, "Would you introduce me when I'm going on? And, do the whole BBC thing." I said, "Certainly, Daniel, no problem." So I went up and I went into the dressing room just as he was about to go on, and he was standing there in front of the mirror with his trousers off. Right. See, Daniel doesn't put his trousers on until the very moment he goes on the stage. So he's practically standing there with his trousers over his... You don't know that, do you? Because whenever he walks on...
Man as well as you think.
No, you look at Daniel when he walks on the stage, there's not a single crease in his trousers.
Not a thing.
So he just puts on the trousers just before he goes on stage. And he was standing there in his underpants, basically. And the girl that was with him, his major domo, the woman who looks out, she was ironing his trousers. And he's fixing his tie and stuff. And I'm just standing there, you see. And I had already arranged with them that I'd go out and I'd say, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Gerald McAlandis now from the BBC. We're doing a documentary about Daniel, who's a wonderfully famous and indeed much loved man from Ireland. You may not have seen him before, but this is your first opportunity to see him. I'd like put your hands together, please, for the one and all, that kind of thing. I'll say I'll do all that. He says, make sure there's nothing I can throw up over before I go on the stage. She asked me to do that too. I said, what am I, some kind of bus boy? Anyway, that's neither here nor there. And she's sitting there, and he's looking in the mirror, right? And he turns around to her and he says, do it now. Will you do that? Go on, say that.
Do it now.
That's it.
Do it now.
So the girl puts down her iron. She's ironing his trousers. She says, do it now.
Right.
And she lifts a big pile of cards and letters. And she starts to read. This one's from Samantha O'Donoghue, who's from Gortahork, and she's been here for 25 years, and she's with her son Jim and her daughter Sheila. And this is for Magnificat O'Doherty, who's just had a little bit of illness, and she's here with her mother, and this is the first time she's been out for 6 months. And this is from Sylvia and Magella and Breege and Neve and all. And she starts reading all this stuff for ages and ages. And I'm saying, what's she doing that for? What's the point of that? So after about 5 minutes, I go, I want you to say this. That's enough now.
Right, that's enough now, Mary.
How did you know her name?
Right.
You just made it up, didn't you?
Yeah.
So I said, why did he do that? But I never asked him anything, because you don't ask Daniel things, you see. And then he put on his trousers and he went out. And he said, go on your head now. So I went out and said, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome all the way from the old sod. It's all Irish people, you see, a horrible place. Remember the horrible place in San Francisco? So anyway, he went out and he went, hello, hello, hello. Before I go, there's some friends of mine here. He repeated everything that she'd said to him. All the names.
No, bah humbug, I tell you.
You weren't there.
We're not. I was there because
You weren't in the dressing room.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm talking about when people come up to him. Yes, Joe. Yes.
Why I'm actually ringing is...
Tell her, Sean. Tell her we'll get round her eventually. Will you tell her?
But Joe, it's the people that come to see Daniel after the show. He remembers all their names.
I know, but am I not saying to you that's how he does it?
He doesn't.
Yeah.
He's got a photographic memory. If you tell him something, he remembers it. And I
So
saw
does
him
Mary
doing
Duff.
it.
She's the same.
Who?
Mary Duff.
Mary Duff's the same. I saw Mary Duff with no
Absolutely.
clothes on one time. I went into her dressing room. She was standing there naked. And I said, I don't think you're Daniel. And she said, no, I'm not. I said, I think you've got the wrong room. Daniel's next door.
That was Mary Black.
It's Mary.
You saw Mary Black.
Do you think I saw Mary Duff in the buff? Do you think I don't know the... Do you not think I know the difference between Mary Duff and Mary Black?
It was Mary Black you walked in on top of.
It might have been her as
You know
well.
what I mean?
Huge difference.
I do it all the time. Air travel is now so fraught with difficulty that only the hardy and the uninsultable will embark upon it. The airports are populated by people who seem determined to make every traveller's life a misery and, worse, give every appearance of enjoying every minute of it.
Getting on the plane. We were the last two on the plane. And the wee girl looked at it and she says, Joan. And she picked up the phone. She said, I better talk to my supervisor. I said, I've got a Joan call here, but and I'm busy saying, look, it's the same name. It's, you know,
An
it's
Irish
all that business.
Yeah. They don't know.
You bought. Has it got any other identification with John on it? Have you any other identification with John on it? And I says no. And then my wife says, yes, hold on. I had the European insurance. You know that wee card? I think it's
European insurance?
I don't know. You know that wee card? European something. You get a wee card if you get take sick or something.
You've got a card that allows you to take sick in Europe?
Aye.
I must get one of those.
And you don't pay. That's something. Some sort of a wee European
Insurance.
card. All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was John. Sorry, Emma? E11, that's it. The E11.
You've an E11?
Yeah. And
So organised.
And so my wife is so organized. So she produced this. She says, there you are. And she says, he's got an E11. It's John. And then, okay, you can go. And he says, but listen, next time I'm going to charge you.
Bitch.
And I walked in. I said, no, you're not.
Did you?
I did.
You're cheeky.
Oh, I did.
It's wonder she never called you back and beat you around the kidneys
I
with a
said,
rubber
no, I'm
truncheon.
not. I was so angry at them. You know what I mean? So, and there was some man who was held back. I don't know what it was, but there was steam coming out of his ears, and he was writing a check out for something. I don't know what it was, but it wouldn't let him on either.
Yeah, see,
He had to get
one of the things that they do, and I don't particularly accuse EasyJet of doing that, but I have been caught a couple of times whereby they try and get money off you just before you get on the plane because you've no time to get back. That's the latest kind of scam thing. But the best one ever occurred to me was in where was it? Lanzarote or something? I went into the airport a couple of weeks ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and there was no air conditioning in the airport for some reason, and it was like 85 degrees. And it was 85 degrees outside, but it was hotter inside because it was full of people. And I'm standing queuing up, you see. And the gravy's running out of me. Like, really, I'm sweating like a pig. And I'm wearing a shirt, so I opened up my shirt, right? And I went up and I checked in. I went in through the thing. And the girl said to me, she said, please button your shirt. I said, excuse me? She said, button your shirt, please. I said, why? And she went, I'm telling you to button your shirt. I said, why? And I was very close to it. And then I realised that you have to button your shirt. Of course, there is no need to travel abroad, nor even to leave your own home. The simulated holiday is upon us, and not before time. I just thought of a cunning plan for a cheap holiday, said Michelle. My husband and I are off for the next fortnight. Rather than spending a fortune, we're going to stay at home, but pretend we're staying in a hotel. Is that a good idea? For a start, I'm going to clean out the bedroom so the drawers and wardrobes are completely empty. This means throwing out clothes and shoes that we haven't worn for years, but kept just in case. There will, of course, be a Gideon's Bible in one drawer. A lot of people would be pleased to hear that. And I'll bring the kettle into the bedroom with cups and saucers. And sachets of coffee that taste like dirt. Not forgetting UHT milk. We will have the heating on constantly full blast to make sure the window does not open. Every morning at about 6:30 a.m, my daughter will ignore the Do Not Disturb sign on our door and knock anyway. We'll tell her to go away. 10 minutes later, my son will knock on the door saying, I clean your room, sir. We will tell him to go away too. Don't worry, I'll pay them the minimum wage. They will make sure to tramp about for the next 4 hours, banging walls, turning the hoover on and off. I'm looking forward to my break. The staff of the programme are alarmed at the overnight violence associated with the celebration of the 12th. The presenter is unmoved. He's seen too much. Look at the papers today. Unrest in the province. Nigel Dodd said that the violence could have been worse last night if the PSI hadn't secured the rooftops. Welcome to Stalingrad. Hey, good morning. Isn't that great?
You shouldn't laugh, you know.
No, but this is the piece. This is the piece. The piece is working. It's working. The roofs are secured. I mean, whenever you go to New York, that's the first thing you look to make sure the roofs are secured. You know, when you're walking around shopping, you know. They're on the roof.
Stop it.
I love this country. I really do.
I have given up.
I know you're giving up, but I gave up years ago. You see, the thing is, you didn't give up until too late. It was too late before
I
you gave
up long before you.
No, you cared. You cared about things.
I did. No, you're right.
You thought that things would change.
Yes.
You know, you didn't realise that nothing matters.
No.
Remember, I used to tell you, nothing matters. Doesn't matter.
Nothing has changed.
Nothing can matter. Nothing will change until everybody dies and is reborn again. I know. I don't mean reborn again.
I know.
In about 50 years' time, maybe somebody else said, Jimmy's starting to stutter. Maybe in 50 years' time, someone said, boy, problems are the same as us. There's no difference between us. 50 years' time, but that time we'll be dead and gone, so it won't matter. So there's no point in getting upset about it. It is discovered that Coilis Interruptus has a fetish for ancient movie stars. This seems not entirely healthy, but then again, not entirely surprising.
My dream date?
Barbara Stanwyck?
No.
You used to like her?
No, I never liked her.
You discovered she had breasts?
I never liked her. She spoiled the cowboy films.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who's your dream date? Angelina Jolie?
No.
Who?
I would say...
Did you see that thing on YouTube?
Doris Day.
Doris Day. She's 85.
Doesn't matter.
You like the mature, do you?
I like Doris Day.
Did you see that film last night on UTV called Hollywood Lives? Did you see that?
No.
It was made for a person...
Last night was the most beautiful night. I was out playing golf until the...
You did the right thing. Hollywood Lives was made for people with the IQ of 1. It was very, very good indeed. Carl Verheyen was on. They managed to make him look as if he couldn't play the guitar, which is some feat, I have to say.
Doris Day or Betty Davis?
What about Lillian Gish?
No.
Carol Lombard?
No, those two.
All right.
I draw the line.
I draw the line too.
What would I talk to Doris Day about if I get the chance to meet Doris Day? I'm sure she's browned off talking about Calamity Jane.
I just moved in from the windy city, the windy city. She was mighty pretty, but it ain't got what we got. I'm telling you, boy, I wouldn't swap the half of Deadwood for the whole of Illinois. You could start off like that. Around about this time of the year, it is not unknown that men who seem not entirely sober make their way onto the airwaves. This makes the presenter nervous as he waits to hear what their mouths have to say. You're not the same Francie. Have you been probed by aliens?
Yes, I am the same Francie.
You're a liar.
I'm not.
It's not him.
It is me.
Not Sean by the Arbiter.
No, that
No,
man.
no.
This
man
man's an imposter.
That's Geordie's neighbour and driver.
Yes.
That's the wrong Francie then. Okay then.
Hold on, Sean.
Yes.
The PNS and I don't allow me to drive anymore.
Right,
Do they
then
not?
that's fair enough. But you're now.
That's twice.
You're now. You're in Geordie's house.
What are you
now.
laughing at?
Twice the PSNI have forgiven you to drive. Forbidden you to
but
drive.
that's twice.
Third time, you're out.
No, I'll never be caught the third time.
That's absolutely it. No man should be caught a third time.
Well, unfortunately.
It all depends what you did. Well, I'm not going to ask you what you did.
No, well,
Are you
sure.
still, you're not...
Well,
are you, do you
that
still
man there, do you see that man there behind you, Jerry?
Yes.
He's class.
Crass?
Class, yeah.
C-R-A-S-S?
Without
No.
him, you wouldn't have a show.
Now listen. Francie.
What?
Francie is there in Geordie's house
Yes.
to get eggs. Isn't that right?
Oh, why didn't you say that?
Well,
know.
yes,
Instead of pretending to be... Instead of pretending to be pro...
I come up for eggs,
Yes.
but I got more than eggs.
What did you get?
Well, I had... There's my dad.
There's
I walked into my dad's house the other day, and he had a smile on his face, and I says, "Holy, what's going on here? You know, it's not like him."
the smile when he sees you.
And you know what was on?
What? I'm almost afraid.
Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
Yep. And I walked in, and my dad says, "Will you sit down there?" But I says, "Well, see, I always get in with my dad, and every Friday afternoon, I go to my dad's every Friday afternoon.
Yes, you
because
said,
I lost my license, you know.
You've said that twice.
As you
yes.
know. Well,
Yes.
Geordie, but get down here, man.
I think the two of them have been at the cooking sherry.
Oh, yes, I've been on the cooking sherry. That's what I told you.
Okay. You went... Oh, I see what you mean now. You went down for eggs, but you get more than that.
Oh, well,
All right, then. Well, maybe
you
perhaps...
know, but, Jerry, do you know whenever Old Darby girl found the crate in the bog?
Yes.
Well, I think I found more than the crate in the bog.
Oh, well, let me just guess what this might be. Have you dug up a certain bottle of a certain liquid?
I would say maybe 2 bottles.
Which has been buried for some time?
Will you hardly wish a minute?
Geordie! Where's Geordie? Yes.
I don't know. I think he's
Right.
away.
I think we might
we should ring him back.
I think,
Guy.
yes.
Yeah,
We'll
ring him back when we find Geordie.
We'll ring you back.
No,
All right, then. Thank you.
We'll bring him.
Thank-
Right, well, there's a wee call on too. I wonder where Geordie is. That's
a man who doesn't
some
know
meeting,
where.
that isn't it?
Thank you for listening. Back tomorrow.